Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we are going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Legion Outer Rim Battles Terrain Pack. Now, this is the final box that I have left from Adepticon. This box is a little beat up. This is the last Star Wars Legion expansion that I picked up out there that I have not gotten to yet. I did not save the best for last, though, because this is one I've been highly critical of at a $60 price tag. This is an expensive box for what I thought was just a couple of basic barricades and a kind of broken wall section. It didn't seem like you were getting very much. So this is something I would not have picked up normally. But since I was able to pick it up for free at the con, I figured this is a great opportunity to take a closer look at it and see for myself if it's actually worth the fairly high price tag, and if this is something that you think that you would be interested in. Now you can check it out and you can judge for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. We're going to show you guys what comes here in the box. We are still doing a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this sucker open and see what we get here in the box. All right, so we are going to open up this thing, and I guess there's sprues in here. Yeah. So we do have what do we got here? We've got a rules insert. There is no playtesters for barricades or walls, so that's I guess that's the thing. But you do have the credits page on here, as well as all your multi-language stuff. Although I don't think there's gonna be any cards. I don't think there's a whole lot to have language stuff for. Although there might be some instructions online on how to put the wall sections together. But this is basically it right here. You're getting it looks like 2 frames, and yeah, you're getting about 2 frames. You've got this ground piece here, so you got some scatter terrain that you're gonna have in here. You got some destroyed crates, scattered terrain pieces. You have this mouse droid, which I think they really hype up these small pieces, and it is a single piece mouse droid. So that's interesting. And again, fans of mouse droids are gonna be able to rejoice because, oh, there's 2 of them. Look at that, there's a second one right there. Is there more than just the 2? And there's a Camtono over here too. So you're getting some cute little things in here. And then this other one is just the straight up barricades and the connector pieces. Now these do look like they are single pieces. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, 6 of these curved, slightly gradually curved walls. We've got 4 straight walls. And then we've got 6 more heavily curved pieces. So it looks like you can kind of assemble these in a lot of different ways. You probably could glue them together if you wanted to, or maybe not, and just kind of leave them as sort of reconfigurable pieces. I'm sure that there's a lot we can do, but we are going to have to punch these out. So we'll get these all punched out. We'll put this wall section together, and then we'll compare heights, and we'll show them with some Star Wars Legion miniatures and see how they do compare. But definitely, this seems to be about barricade size. As you can see my finger right there, definitely seems like it's barricade size. So yeah, it's interesting considering, and again, my first reaction with looking at this is I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't seem like it's a whole lot more than the regular barricade pack. This is more than the barricade pack, but this is about the same as what we would have gotten in the barricade kit. And that used to come for free in the starter. And I don't remember how much the barricade kits were. I don't think they were more than like $10, maybe 19 in total. So this is, a significant price uptick for what amounts to basically, some mouse droids, some fun little stuff, and a few other pieces of scatter terrain. And so it's, again, to me, initially, not really seeing it as being terribly worth it. But, we're going to get it all put together and withhold judgment until we get it all together. All right, so we've gone ahead and put everything together, and just to kind of showcase a little bit of the size here, you can see that this is definitely barricade size, right? We've got shock trooper right next to the barricade, and it's not big. I think when they first showed that picture over there, it looked like those were going to be tall walls, and they are not. They're barricade size. So now, as far as this corner piece, this was 4 or 5 pieces. You had this wall, that wall, this corner piece, the Camtono, and then the then I guess the Camtono was 3 pieces, left, right, and top. And then this little sconce here on the wall. Now that's about this. So this could actually block line of sight for a trooper through the corner. So you do have that. And of course, if you're treating this with the new area terrain stuff, I guess but there's not actually a silhouette for it. So I don't know, or, you know, like a ground part. So I'm not sure how that would work there. But as far as the different pieces, you know, we have a couple of these flat pieces, and they have flat connectors on the sides. And then you have some of these pieces that they have this little lip here on the side, and then you have some of the round pieces here that have a little lip, and you have some of them that go one way and some of them that go the other way. So you can glue those together and you end up with something like this. And you don't have to glue them together, but you can glue them together. And so then those can pair up against these, you know, and you can glue those together if you want, or not, and just kind of set them down and kind of build yourself like a little fenced in sort of barnyard kind of area, or do whatever you want. You know, you can do a whole lot with stuff like that. So that's the barricade pieces. We've got this sort of grating, you know, kind of flat piece here, a little scatter terrain, and that's just a single piece. We've got another smaller scatter terrain piece that is also a single piece. We've had these sort of street lights or what have you, and they're like one long piece, then a base, so there's a second piece, and then this little telephone that goes onto there, and then you've got these two wires. And the cool thing is, like, these wires can sort of connect into these pieces here, so you can even glue them in right there if you wanted to, or you can just, you know, so you can thematically make them part of that or not. So that's a neat little feature. And so even though, granted, like, I still don't think this is a great set, there are some neat features. Like, I think the mouse droids here are neat features, because for one, it uses empty space on the frame. So it's like, you know, so that's cool. And since you got two of them also, and for two, it's going to target those people who are like, hey, look, we've got Grand Moff Tarkin, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and all these guys coming out, all these Death Star officers, like Tag, right? Like, I want mouse droids on the base, right? Like, that's a cool option to have. So I'm going to save these mouse droids. I think these, as strange as it sounds, the mouse droids are the only things in here I think I'm going to keep. The rest is probably going to end up in the pile of stuff that is going to go out to the curb. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm going to use these, because I already have a lot of barricades. Now, as far as this expansion as a whole, as this terrain kit as a whole, I do think it's priced, it's overpriced where its target audience. I think it's going to be a little bit out of budget for a lot of the people that might be the target audience. But I think the reason that they made this is because they're not making barricades in the core sets anymore. And I think if you're trying to relaunch a game, you probably need to have terrain, some terrain at least. I'm granted, there's dozens and dozens, maybe more than dozens of excellent 3D terrain, 3D STL file companies, and then pre-printed terrain companies, and then MDF terrain companies, and then custom terrain companies. And there's terrain out the wazoo. I've done plenty of reviews for various different types of terrain. So there's no shortage of terrain, but again, on paper, especially the corporate line, you probably have to have some terrain to sell along with your game, since the rules have you using terrain. You got to have at least something. And so I think that's the purpose of this whole box. I don't think I'm the target audience for the Outer Rim terrain battles pack, right? Battles terrain pack. I think they needed to come up with something that could have barricades, which is what these kind of do. I think they needed to have something that had line of sight blocking terrain, and I think they needed to have scatter terrain. The only thing that this doesn't have is area terrain, although this could still function as area terrain if you had some kind of silhouette to kind of place it on, or a neoprene sort of outline or something like that. And you could certainly use things like this as area terrain too. So I suppose. It has that outline, so I guess you could do that. You'd probably have to extend it out to this part. So it kind of fills in the blanks, and it's also not bound to one specific planet or locale. This could easily be a wall on a cold planet. This could be a Tatooine wall. This could be a Jakku wall. This could be a Coruscanti wall or something like that, or a city kind of wall. It can kind of go on any environment. So they probably needed something that could be basic terrain for the game for people who have nothing and are just getting into this, and this might be their first tabletop game, and they are looking to buy something that is got the same brand as their starter, and something that is kind of universal enough to go into any planet. And I think from that perspective, this succeeds. It does give you enough terrain to get like your first game going, like a 3x3, a little recon game or something like that. I think it fits the bill as far as is accomplishing that mission of being some simple terrain for somebody who has none and is just getting into games. However, I think that's maybe not the largest audience. I think for a lot of us watching that already have terrain or have barricades already and things like that, we're probably not the target audience for stuff like this. But, at least now I can say for sure that, again, these are barricade size. Definitely not something that I personally recommend because there's so many other good terrain companies out there. But I would imagine on paper, you probably have to have at least one product of basic terrain to go with your game, especially if you're relaunching all new starters and all of that stuff. And so for that purpose, I think it gets the job done. All right, well, that concludes the Outer Rim Battles Terrain Pack video. We unboxed it. We took a look at it. There wasn't much to build. It was fairly simple. Of course, there's more cleanup to do. We could, trim some of these little mold lines off and, of course, prime and paint it if we wanted to do that. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Again, I may change my mind, but I just don't, I have a lot of Legion terrain. I didn't really need this pack. And, if you're in the Orlando area and you want some barricades, I'm keeping the mouse droids though. I might just donate these to a store. That's probably a great option. Just hook up one of the local stores around here, like Layton Gaming, although I don't think they need any terrain. They have a lot of terrain there. There's smaller stores that probably could use some. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.